In my last video, we discussed some of the main groups that encompass the mammalian order, the clade that encompasses all mammals. We discussed the monotremes, the marsupials, and about half of the placentalia, which is the placental mammals. In today's video, we will be exploring the rest of the mammalian clade. Placentalia breaks off into two main lineages, the Allantogenata and the Boreotheria. Today, we will be discussing the Boreotheria. The first group to break off is the Eulipotifla, meaning truly fat and blind. This is an order of mammals that encompasses the hedgehogs, shrews, moles, and solenodons. This order is incredibly diverse with over 450 known species. It can also be found worldwide, except for Australia and polar regions. Chiroptera includes the bats. Bats comprise of over 20% of classified mammal species worldwide, with over 1,400 species. Bats are unique in that they have wings, which are modified forelimbs covered in a thin membrane, otherwise known as a pentagellum. In fact, bats are the only mammal capable of sustained flight. Bats navigate and find their prey through a process called echolocation. They produce sound waves at frequencies above human hearing, called ultrasound. The sound waves emitted by bats bounce off objects in their environment. Then the sounds return to the bat's ears, allowing them to perceive their surroundings. The pangolins of Phyllodonta can be found in Asia and sub-Saharan Africa. Pangolins are covered in cartilaginous scales, like a lizard. They are the only known mammal to have adapted this feature. While not true bipeds, pangolins have the capability to walk on two legs for short distances. It looks like a babushka in my opinion. Now we move on to possibly the best mammalian order, the Carnivora. This includes 279 species of primarily meat-eating mammals. Carnivorans are found on every major landmass in a variety of habitats, ranging from cold polar regions to the Sahara Desert to the open seas. Carnivora is divided into two suborders. The Feliniforma, consisting of the cat-like carnivores, such as the cats, hyenas, mongooses, viperids, and related taxa, and the Carniformia, containing the dog-like mammals such as bears, raccoons, skunks, muscelids like otters and badgers, the Pinnipedia, which includes the seals, walruses, and sea lions,
and truncated, such as wolves and foxes.
Feliforms typically have a shorter snout, retractable claws, and a more carnivorous diet. Hyenas live in a female-dominated hierarchy. Female hyenas actually possess something called a pseudopenis, which is an elongated clitoris. They typically are just for display, but spotted hyenas actually urinate, copulate, and give birth through the pseudopenis. Another fun fact is that cats have 32 muscles in each of their outer ears. These muscles allow them to rotate their ears 180 degrees. They can move them independently, helping them pinpoint the source of sounds or communicate emotions. Snow leopards can jump over 50 feet in the air, and not all big cats can roar. Cheetahs and cougars, for example, lack the specific bone structure that allows other big cats to produce the roar. Instead, they purr. Now, the euligets, or the hoofed mammals, break off into two main lineages: the Perissodactyla, or the odd-toed euligets, and the Artiodactylus, or the even-toed euligets. The odd-toed euligets include 17 species divided into three families: the Equidae, so the horses, the asses, and the zebras; the Rhinocerotidae, the rhinoceroses; and the Tapiridae, so the tapirs. Horses typically walk on one toe, while rhinoceros and tapirs walk on three. The even-toed euligets typically bear their weight on two toes. This clade contains roughly 270 species, such as the pigs, hippopotamus, antelopes, deer, giraffes, camels, llamas, alpacas, sheep, whales, goats, and cattle. Now, it might surprise you to hear that whales are part of this clade. Whales evolved from a deer-like land mammal called the Pachycetus about 50 million years ago. Now, whales have a very interesting way of capturing their prey. Some species use a technique called bubble netting, in which several whales blow bubbles to trap fish in a spiral and swallow them. Now, pigs are incredibly interesting. They're known to be more intelligent than even a dog. Some cases have shown that mother pigs actually sing to their babies while nursing. Pigs are some of the most social animals in the animal kingdom. They often sleep nose to nose with each other. Now, an interesting fact about camels is that their hump, their most notable feature, is not used for water. Instead, it is used to store fat. Healthy camels with significant amounts of fat stores can survive without food or water for a couple of weeks. Now that brings us to the other half of the Boreotheria. We'll start with the tree shrews of the Scandentia. These are small mammals, native to the tropical forests of South and Southeast Asia. Some tree shrews have a unique symbiotic relationship with pitcher plants. They will eat nectar from the pitcher plant and then defecate inside of it, providing the plant with nutrients. The Lagomorpha contains two living families, one that includes the rabbits and the hares, and the other which includes the picas. Now, the rodents of the Rodentia constitute 40% of all living mammals. Rodents are characterized by a single pair of continuously growing incisors in each of the upper and lower jaws. Well-known rodents include mice, rats, squirrels, prairie dogs, porcupines, beavers, guinea pigs, and hamsters. Now, I have to say that the most interesting rodent has to be the rat. Scientists at UC Berkeley found that all rats they studied experienced empathy in response to another rat's sign of distress. Basically, what the scientists found is that rats would act on their empathy if their neural reward system had been triggered, which only occurred if the trapped rat was the same type as the helper rat. The scientists also found that if the rat in need of help was part of the same social group as the helper rat, the rat would be more inclined to help, revealing that altruism is motivated by social bonding and familiarity rather than sympathy or guilt. Amy Birtle, the assistant professor of psychobiology, claims that the finding of a similar neural network involved in empathetic helping in rats as in humans provides new evidence that caring for others is based on a shared neurobiological mechanism across mammals. Now, capybaras are known for their ability to coexist with just about any animal. Because of their calm demeanor, monkeys and birds often rest on them. This is because they give out warning calls when predators are nearby, and they house lots of bugs, which are a good food source.
The Dermoptera encompasses the colugos that are native to Southeast Asia.
Colugos have a patagium, which, like a bat, is a membrane that extends from the animal's face and tips of its claws to its tail. It allows them to glide over 200 feet between trees. And the final group is the primates. Primates are known for their large brain size, binocular and color vision, vocalizations, shoulder girdles, which allow for a high degree of upper body movement, and opposable thumbs, which are good for grasping and dexterity. The primates are further divided into two groups. We'll start with the strepsirrhins. This includes the lemurs of Madagascar, the bush babies and putus from Africa, and the lorises of India and Southeast Asia. These mammals typically have a tooth comb, a specialized set of teeth, which allow them to remove parasites while grooming. They also have a reflective layer over their eyes called a tapetum lucidum, which allows them to see better in the dark. They also have something called a wet nose, which essentially gives them a better smell. This is seen in other animals, such as canines and felines. Now, the eye, which is a member of this group, is one of the strangest looking animals on our planet. With its large ears, continuously growing teeth, and long, thin middle finger. This elongated middle finger is used for a unique hunting method called percussive foraging. They tap on trees to find grubs within the wood, and then gnaw holes and extract them with their specialized finger. Lorises, which are also very strange looking, are known for their incredibly slow and deliberate movements. This is called cryptic locomotion, and this is to avoid predators. Haplorhines, so the other group, have a dry nose, a greater reliance on vision, and larger brains relative to their body size. Now, the first animals to break off of this clade is the tarsiers. These goofy-looking primates are named after their exceptionally long tarsal bones, which allow them to jump distances up to 40 times their body length. They can also rotate their head almost 360 degrees. The next clade further divides into two main categories: the catalines, meaning the Old World monkeys and apes, and the platyrrhines, meaning the New World monkeys. The technical distinction between the Old World monkeys and apes and the New World monkeys is the shape of their nose. The platyrrhines, or New World monkeys, have nostrils which face sideways. The catarrhines have nostrils that face downwards. Now, the catarrhines also never have prehensile tails, and have flat fingernails and toenails. The catarrhi are all native to Africa and Asia, while the platyrrhi inhabit regions of Mexico and Central and South America. Many species of New World monkey, or plateri, have displayed incredible intelligence, such as the capuchin monkey. These monkeys were observed cracking nuts with rocks, and they've recently developed a habit of kidnapping newborn howler monkeys and treating them like pets. I'll link an article down below. It's really interesting. Now, Old World monkeys and apes possess trichromic color vision, allowing them to see a wider range of colors than the New World monkeys, which have dichromic vision. Now, some interesting facts about these monkeys. Male proboscis monkeys have the largest nose of any primate, sometimes exceeding 4 inches in length. This large nose is a key feature for attracting mates, as females prefer males with larger noses. You know what they say. Now, war has been seen as a uniquely human act for a long time, but research by Jane Goodall found that chimps participate in warfare. In 1974, when Goodall was studying the behavior of chimpanzee colonies in Gombe, she witnessed a group of chimps become divided, eventually waging war on each other, sparking gruesome violence. And with that, we've covered all of the mammals. From this point on, we're going to move on to a clade that is one of the largest we've covered, the amphibians.